radio news.
Who's really running the country? Joe Biden? The First Lady? Kamala Harris? Maybe Barack Obama? Already, Kamala Harris is the most powerful vice president in history. All this week, Newsmax's Greg Kelly asked the tough questions about Joe Biden and who's really in charge at the White House. Every night this week, Greg Kelly is on Newsmax giving you the news you need to know. So watch Greg Kelly tonight at 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern and see his series, Who's Really in Charge? Newsmax TV is America's fourth highest-rated cable news network. Everyone is talking about Newsmax. Find Newsmax on all major cable systems. If you don't get it, call your cable system, tell them you want it. Or get Newsmax free on your smart TV. Or tune into Roku, Amazon Fire, Pluto, Zumo, or YouTube. Or just download the free Newsmax TV app on your smartphone and watch us anytime, anywhere. Millions of Americans are watching Newsmax. So should you.
The following is an America Matters media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
This is Kenny McCormick, CEO of Celtic Fish, and your host of Geek Speak, sponsored by Data. Thank you for listening on KFOY 1060 AM or on the web at americamatters.us. Now let's get to the show. Hey everyone. So today I got my wonderful guest as Patrick Harris, good friend of mine. Thank you for joining us today, Patrick.
Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it.
So, just a disclaimer for all you guys. We're not going into too much techie today.
Yay.
We're going into the geek side of my world, and I love it. So, the first thing that we got is our rapid fire questions.
All right, let's go.
So, good luck on them. Don't hesitate. Breathe. What is your full name?
Patrick Harris.
Patrick Harris. What is your business name?
Patrick Monroe Harris.
No. No. I know your full-time job, you work for Stuart Title, formerly known as Western.
That is correct.
But you are here as your author. Blah, 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 blah. I need a drink before I come on the air. But you're here today as an author.
That is correct.
Of some geeky books that I love to read. So, I already asked you what your profession is, but what about your full-time job?
Full-time job, I work as sales and marketing for a title and escrow company, Stuart Title.
Perfect. What kind of jobs have you previously done?
Before Stuart, we were called Western Title, and then before that I was in college, did a bunch of writing projects. So worked with UNR on some journalism projects and working for the Nevada newspaper and the magazine that they had. Then before that, I worked summers in the mining industry.
Yay.
So much fun. Early mornings.
I don't envy you. Tell me about your family.
Let's see. My mom and dad lived in Nevada for the longest time. They're both from Colorado and Wyoming, and they finally went back. They both are retired and living happily in Wyoming. And my brother is out in Colorado, and he's got a cute little kid, Dylan, and also Brooklyn, and his wife Becca is out there as well.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're from Nevada.
Yeah.
I don't hate your parents.
A little sadness. They left us here.
Right? They're evil. No, kidding. Favorite superhero and why?
Ooh, gosh. My wife and I debate this all the time. I am going to have to go with Superman. Old school Superman before, all the political correctness. Definitely the best. I think my wife is somewhere between Dark Knight, the old Dark Knight movies, and I think lately she really seems to like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, I can see that. What hobbies?
Hobbies. Let's see. Besides writing every single day, I love to read, and we love to go out and explore. We've been all over Tahoe, all over the mountains, hiking, biking, tumbling through rivers, anything that's outdoors.
Perfect. What keeps you up at night?
Ooh. What Jack Sparrow actually means in Pirates of the Caribbean. That's something that we contemplate. And also the importance of free speech.
Okay. That is definitely an answer I wasn't expecting.
There you go.
Biggest geek you would want to have drinks with?
Biggest geek I want to have drinks with. Ooh, J.K. Rowling is a good option, but her geekiness might just be Harry Potter. Probably Jeff Johns, either that or Jeff Loeb. They're kind of the hidden people behind comic books that you never really hear about, and you just know that they know their stuff.
That is true. Wow. There's so many more people out there I wouldn't have thought of. Apple or Android?
Oh, Apple, not by choice.
Fail.
Yeah, I know.
I should
So-
have invited
so-
you on the show. Mac or PC?
Ooh, I think I've only had a PC, so
Okay. That
and I'm off the show.
no. PCs are good.
Oh, okay, all right.
So that kind of levels you out.
Right.
You're at a standstill right now with me. Maybe next time you should drink a margarita with my wife and I. How old were you when you got your first computer?
Very first computer. Gosh, my parents had one when I was growing up. I wasn't allowed to use it until I was 13. And first time I got a computer was college, so not until I was 18.
Okay. I wouldn't let a 13-year-old use a computer.
I would not either.
Behind closed doors.
I wasted so much time on Mario.
Oh, you're the good kid.
Yeah.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel movies, DC Comics.
Oh, same answer as me. High five.
Yeah.
Woo! Sorry. Sorry about the feedback, guys. That was our hands clap, I promise. Favorite board game?
Favorite board game? Ooh, Clue. Definitely Clue.
We have so much in common. We're like twinsies.
Mrs. Scarlet or Professor Plum?
I think it's the professor.
Yeah. Okay. I'm always Mrs. Scarlet.
Yes. All right. So we're going to get back to you in a little bit. We're going to do some quick news. So did you hear about Bill Gates and Melinda?
Yes.
They're getting a divorce.
Going their separate ways.
Yes. Very sad to hear after 27 years of marriage that they're separating. There's no news on how they're splitting their income or splitting the thing, but last I saw, estimated value of Bill Gates was $124 billion.
Whoa. All right.
So just, small chunk. I'm sure that won't.
Just a tiny chunk.
It'll hurt him pretty bad.
Split that in half. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so. Trump is he's objecting the continuous ban on Facebook,
Good.
which I think it's kind of funny personally, because former president being kicked off of a social media platform. Every time I think about it, I think of his that lady, and I wish I could remember the interview, who exactly it was like, this isn't your crazy uncle on Facebook ranting. And his niece got on and was like, he's my crazy uncle. So that's just funny. But the courts, which I don't know who exactly, has ordered them to rethink their ban. So were they not thinking?
Were they not thinking? Are they not sure what they want them to do?
Right? Like,
Shouldn't they be telling them one way or another? Good
Yeah.
job, or hey, fix it.
right? But, I'm for the free speech, so
As
Open
an
it
author,
up.
I agree.
yeah, of course you do. Then 5G-I is being released in India.
Fancy.
Yes.
Very fancy.
So all those people who are worried about being nuked with 5G right now, they're doing 5G-I, which is more for the rural areas. So it's hopes that it'll help the rural areas be able to get better internet,
Okay.
which I think is kind of cool.
Of course.
Because I know there's a lot of products out there right now, and a lot of people, especially in Nevada, we have all these huge like properties, or not really Reno and Vegas because they're not. They're Nevada, but not Nevada.
Just take a stroll by Ely and the internet service.
Right? But when you get these houses, you get, the homes, and then what? You got another building, your she shed, your work shop on the other side of the property. Because, if I had my choice, I wouldn't have a workshop near my house. Just saying. I love my wife, but I need my space.
From time to time.
Yes. So you'd have your, work shed, but you can't get internet because you put your work shed too far away from the internet box.
On the opposite side of the property.
So, just going on to the techie side of the world, there is a solution called a CEP. Basically, instead of running a cable underground, digging up, hopefully you don't hit it with the forklift, or not a forklift, but,
aerator.
Yeah, something crazy. You're driving your tractor and run into it. Instead of doing those kind of weird things, you got a wireless connection acting as a wire.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're amazing products. You can just Google them on Amazon, or I guess you can go to Amazon and just buy them there. Awesome products. They're about anywhere from $110 to $150, and direct point-to-point connection looks great. They're small and they work perfect. And then everything just works smooth. And we installed one at my house, from the main house to where we live, and we haven't lost internet since.
Perfect.
Right?
I want to get one.
Right. So, anyways, we'll be right back. We're going on a quick commercial, Patrick. We're taking a quick break.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
I know I need to pay attention to my health, but I just can't seem to find the time. Between rushing to work and taking care of the kids, there's not much time left over for me. So I decided to start small by eating more fruits and vegetables and being more active. And then I got the family to make some changes too. We started by keeping a bowl of fresh fruit on the counter, and I limit the amount of sweet snacks I keep in the house. I've also found some creative ways to add more vegetables to our meals. We're taking more walks, and on the weekends, we head down to the pool at the rec center. It doesn't happen every day, but it does happen. You don't have to change your entire life to be healthier. Just make some simple changes and include your family. You'll see how easy and fun it can be.
You can make a difference. Eat smart, play hard. And when you do, your kids will too. A challenge from USDA.
This overload.
Shannon Lawson here. Join us for the Nevada Radio Roundup, Fridays at 2 p.m. A good news variety show all about the local scene. The Nevada Roundup, Friday at 2.
Welcome back to Geek Speak, sponsored by Datto. Datto is the world's leading provider of cloud-based software and security solutions, purpose-built for delivery by managed service providers. Datto solutions defend against costly downtime and data loss in servers, virtual machines, cloud applications, or anywhere data resides. This is Kenny McCormick, and thanks for listening. Hey everyone, welcome back. Once again, I have Patrick Harris, who's an author and also with Stewart Title, formerly known as Western.
Correct. Thanks again, Kenny. I appreciate it.
Oh, no worries. You're a blast. I love hanging out with you. We've known each other for a year and a half, 2 years now?
About that, yeah. Almost 2 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, time flies when you meet good people.
Right?
Yeah.
So much fun. And eventually, happy Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, happy Cinco de Mayo. Also, tomorrow's Revenge of the 6th.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, total geeks right now.
Yep.
I love it. All right, so the reason I asked you here is kind of twofold. We're both geeks.
Of course.
Which...
Proudly.
Yes. Don't call me a nerd, call me a geek. Nerds don't have social skills. That's what I tell everyone. My son, my oldest one, used to do gymnastics, and he told his coach that he was a geek, and my coach was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm a nerd." And my oldest looked at him and went, "All right. I'm sorry, you don't have friends." So that's for all you listeners. Geeks have social skills, nerds don't, and I like to say they pee in bottles. So, anyways, I did invite you because you are a geek, and even though you don't work for a techie company or do anything techie, you're you're going to have a new book coming out.
That's correct, yeah.
You've written many books.
Mm-hmm. 6 to be exact, soon to be 7.
6, soon to be 7. Technically you have 8, but you're not releasing the other one for 2 years.
Right.
Okay, so, see, I listen.
There you go.
Let's get started with the most important part before I forget. My oldest son wants a signed autograph copy.
Oh.
So.
Terrific.
Would you autograph that for him? And now I have evidence, because we are on Facebook, that this is a legitimate signed copy.
Legitimately signed? Looks like somebody already put their name in there.
That would be your signature according to the print.
All right. Yeah. I'll have to sign it again.
Yes.
All right. And what's his name?
Camden.
Camden.
K-A-M-D-E-N.
To Camden.
So, yes. So, we love your books.
Great.
I always just call it Dem Brock, but it's the Defenders of Dem Brock.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot of audiobooks. Love them. And I've listened to it multiple times. I know my son has.
Oh, dear.
I think my whole family's listened to them. So, great books.
Terrific.
Why don't you give us a little synopsis of it?
Of course.
We know the history behind it, why you wrote it.
Of course.
This one, I'll get to that one after you tell a quick synopsis.
All right. And we're starting with Dem Brock, right?
Yes, let's start with Dem Brock.
Okay. All right. So the Defenders of Dem Brock. It's going to be a 4-book series. That's the plan right now. Of course, the times always change. My wife came home one day from work and was telling me about her coworkers were talking about this little tiny military depot that was set up outside of Norway. It was never used during World War II, and a guy started hosting a radio talk show on it, just like this, Radio Essex. And the major loved it so much that he eventually tried to claim this place as his own, called it his own country, and when the government tried to take it away from him, he put out a national call, worldwide call, for defenders, knights and dames, to protect it and keep it as his. And we thought, how much fun would that be? So instantaneously, book idea popped in my head. What if there was a kingdom like that, but once you get there, it's not as normal as it seems. It's actually got magic, maybe a little bit of dragons, maybe a witch, some cool stuff in there. And boom, Defenders of Denbrock was born. So it follows 4 kids. They grow up the best of friends, and they hear about a country that needs help. They volunteer, and they just never hear back. 20 years later, all the other defenders have died except for them. So they're called to the country, and of course now they're grown up, sarcastic, kind of grumpy, good cannon fodder, and they get called onto this island, and it's nothing that they expected. It's not this nice, easygoing Scottish Isle. It's actually full of dragons and magic and evil people, and mostly everybody wants them dead. So it gets pretty interesting pretty fast.
All right, and what's going to happen? Like, I love the book. I think it's great. You definitely left it open.
Oh, definitely.
What's gonna happen? Just a little tidbits of
little tidbit.
Yeah.
So the instigator of all of this is that the king died 30 years ago, and so these defenders are being called to protect the kingdom while they find the killer. By the end of the first book, they've secured the kingdom's peace, but the king's killer is nowhere to be found. They don't know who it is, they don't know who did it, and they don't know where he might be. So in the next book, it kicks right off the bat. The king's killer comes back into the light and says, I did it once, I'm going to do it again. And it's a big race to stop him from killing another king.
Nice. That,
yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm glad you're looking forward to it.
Yes, and I'll probably ask for a signed copy of that one.
All right, fair enough.
So, I mentioned to you I mentioned earlier that you are a local.
Yes.
Ish.
Over from Spring Creek, so
Yeah.
by Elko, it's close enough.
Yeah, close enough. I mean, you're a first-generation Nevadian.
That is true.
So I'll give you props for that.
All right.
It'd be better if you were second.
My wife is like 5th or 6th, so I'll steal hers.
Oh, okay, good. You average it out. You're a third-year generation.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So, your other book, The Waterman. I can't talk. The Waterman Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You can tell you're a local.
Oh, thanks.
Like, if you guys want a good sci-fi book that you can relate to, the little I've read of it, because we met on Tuesday, so Monday I read probably about a quarter of the book.
Wow. Made it quick.
Yeah. I skimmed the book. I'll be honest. But, my 10-year-old in Camden, he was saying how you could just, the description in it, you could just see it, you could feel it, you knew what was going on. He got into your book quick.
Great.
I noticed that you have a lot of Nevada references in it.
Very much so.
And I think that, for me, helped me relate to the book a lot better.
Great.
What was the motivation for doing that?
So when I wrote this book, I was in high school. And, of course, that's when Iron Man was coming out for the very first time in the movies. You'd read books, and it's always New York, San Francisco, L.A., Singapore, Tokyo, these really big cities that, of course, everybody has seen and can relate to. And growing up in Spring Creek, little tiny nowhere Nevada town, you just don't hear about it. You don't hear about Ely, you don't hear about Winnemucca, Pioche, just little towns that I grew up with and that I love. And I thought to myself, I'd love to write a superhero story, and wouldn't it be funny if he's this big-time hero stuck in a little tiny town? And just take it from there. And to kind of put another twist on it, I gave him water powers, and probably the least moisturized, least humid state in the nation.
That is awesome. All right, so you got these books. Are they all on audio?
They are, yes. So Waterman Chronicles, there's 3 of them, so those are on audio. Silver Rain, I read myself, so I apologize. And Defenders of Denbrock is also on audio.
Yes, I've listened to Denbrock. I'm just going to shorten it, because if I kept saying Defenders of Denbrock, we'd run out of time.
Right.
So Denbrock is, love the reader.
He's great.
How
Peter
does
Kenyon.
he do it?
He works magic with his voice. So I decided for a split second to try and do it myself. As I've said, Denbrock is close to Scotland. It's got a bunch of different accents. I'm terrible with accents. They all end up sounding like a Russian who got, strangled right before he talked.
Nice.
So I was working with the publisher, and they put it out to a couple people who were very good at British, Scottish, and also could manage an American accent because it needed all three predominantly. And this guy just knocked it out of the park. There was a sample scene we gave him where it's 5 people all trying to talk over each other in a scene, and he got it as though he were in the room. And he does a fantastic job. He's based out of, if I remember right, he's based out of Michigan. And we've got him down for the rest of the book series, which is great.
Awesome. I am glad to hear that, because the worst thing you can do is switch book readers.
Right.
Because it's one of the Thunder. I can't think.
I know Jim Butcher's books had that, and
yeah, I can't even think of the name of the book right now. I can see it. It's Greek mythology always. Rick Riordan books.
Oh yes, the Percy Jackson series,
yes.
And then he moved on to the Heroes of Olympus.
Yeah, because he went from, I can't remember the kid's name now. I'm going dumb, but it went from him to this other guy, and I can't stand listening to it. So
right,
and then they went back to him. So I was happy.
Yeah, it's good to have consistency, especially in audiobooks.
Definitely. Well, so when are we looking at the next book?
Next book comes out this fall, so it's going to be the first Tuesday of October. Now, don't count me on that. I believe it's the 7th or the 8th, but it'll be that very first Tuesday.
Sweet. And are we looking at any book signings anywhere around town? Are you guys going to do any advertising?
Yes. So Barnes & Noble has hosted a couple book signings in the past, assuming that the pandemic is kind of going away and businesses can reopen and I can, of course, meet people and sign books. I'll look forward to hosting one there, and then also some local coffee shops around town.
Perfect. And are we looking at, we're looking at 4 books, one each year, or is the 4th book looking like it's going to be a little longer?
Oh, no. They'll be coming out one a year from now on. So I ended up writing the 3rd one, and then had to fill in some blanks, so that's where the 2nd one came in. So 2 are already finished, and the 4th one, it'll be a breeze.
That's amazing. So if someone wanted to get a hold of you, ask you questions, how would they do that?
I've got a website, authorpatrickharris.com, and then also Facebook, Twitter, all the social medias. If you just search for Author Patrick Harris, that'll be the very first one to pop up.
Oh, great. Gosh, I'm having
brain fart.
So we got the website, you got social media. What is your major forms of advertising right now?
Major forms, let's see. For the last Denbrock book, did a lot of social media advertising, and then also dropped off a lot of cards around town. We got these slick little posters made. They look like travel posters that you'd see if you went to Calveras County, or if you went down to Sacramento, or if you went somewhere there's travel posters, we made them for Denbrock.
Nice.
So spreading those all around.
All right. Well, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it.
Of course. Well, thank you, Kenny.
No worries. Thank you for listening to Geek Speak, sponsored by Datto. This is Kenny McCormick, CEO of Celtic Fish, connecting our community one network at a time. Listen locally to Geek Speak on 1060 AM KFOY or on the web at americamatters.us.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
President Biden is defending his call to raise the corporate tax rate to pay for a massive infrastructure plan he has put before Congress.
What's going to grow America more? The super wealthy having to pay 3.9% less tax, or have an entire generation having associate degrees?
The president speaking at the White House. Meanwhile, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is no fan of that package, saying it's way too broad.
What we're willing to do